and we're the ones that's going to entertain you this afternoon. And welcome to the first day of winter here in South Florida.
Is that why it's so cold?
The garden here was started in July 1970, so we're just a little over 40 years, and 2.5 acres with about 1,200 kinds of plants. Now we've got a mile of trail in the garden, so when you go through it might seem like you're walking on 50 acres rather than 2.5. But we do have a big fruit collection, and people see a lot of unusual fruits that they don't see anywhere else. And we have some that have unusual seed pods like this African Solstice tree. And that's our signature tree here, and everyone always is amazed by that. And a lot of the groups like to get a group picture from it to put in their newsletter or take home and show their friends.
Let's do it!
Now, the way we work the tour, we'll divide you up into three groups. Each one will have a tour guide, and we'll take off out into the jungle for about an hour and a quarter, maybe a little longer, depends how many questions. Then we're going to reassemble back here, and we do have a small 1/4 acre nursery next door, so if you want to visit the nursery, we'll then go over there. I'll open that up, let you look at what we've got. And if you want a sausage tree and take home, we got plenty of those. But you can visit the nursery, and then you can come back and revisit some of the garden if you need to go back on some of the trails. And the way that the tours run, we stop and spot, talk a little bit, then we move on, stop, talk, so it's not constant walking. And we do have benches scattered through the garden, so if you really get tired, you can sit down at the stop closest to the bench and listen to what the tour guide is saying. Now, we just recently got a new website, so if you want to visit that, it's unbelievableacresbotanicalgarden.org. So real simple. And then you can see some of the pictures of this place and some of our videos and different things which we have on the website. Now, any questions before we disappear into the jungle?
Gene, I just want to mention something. You mentioned the first day of winter. If you've got your watches on, you'll notice at 12:11, that's the winter solstice. So for vegetable gardeners like me, that's a big time because now the days are getting longer, even though it'll be a few weeks before you notice it. But while we're all here, we like to always talk about your signature tree. Maybe Jane could give us the story, or Gene, you could start us off.
Jane can do it.
Yeah, she's the expert on it.
Okay.
Quick announcement. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Afterwards, we can meet at my white truck. I have plants to give away that are all free. Little things, cuttings and stuff. And then also, there's an optional free tour. 8 miles away is Richard's Excalibur Nursery. We're going to go there and take it. It's a very rare, extensive rare fruit nursery. So we'll go there if you want to check it out. That's optional. Thanks. Sorry.
And he has a little produce stand there too, so you can probably buy some fruit and take home.
That was the deal. That was the deal maker right there.
Okay.
Okay, the sausage tree is an African tree. Now, Gene planted it as a seed. What year, Gene?
Well, it's 40 years old this year.
40 years old this year from a seed. Now, during 2006 and 2004 and 2005, when we were visited by Francis, Gene, and Wilma, he lost 1/3 of the tree. So it was a lot taller that hung over the house, but it's gone back really fast. Now, the blooms at night, and in Africa, those blooms are pollinated by a bat. Well, we don't have really a good crop of bats here to do an excellent job, so we have a 2-legged bat called Gene Joyner. And what he tries to do is we find that you get better production if you have blooms from a different tree. So he goes over to the Mounts Garden over in Military and gets pollen, gets blooms from there, comes back on his 6-foot ladder, and then he pollinates enough that we can have them low. Now if you look up high, you see some small ones, and that's the natural pollination. So you can see the difference when you do the hand pollinating. Don't see any of the blooms. It's a very pretty big dark red bloom. Always reminds me of an old pipe, a big horn blower pipe. And like I said, it just lasts one day. There's a lot of things that we grow it as an ornamental, and we say it's not edible, and it's not. The elephants and the giraffes and all, they eat it. But the only part that's really edible is the seeds if they are roasted and used for famine food in Africa, and that's in case of severe famine. Now the women will also use this, and they'll bake it and use it in fermentation in their honey beer. Kind of works like a yeast thing, and it's used in a lot of cosmetics. So you know, it's an ornamental for us. It's a very important tree, and then they make canoes and various products out of the wood. So it's a very interesting tree. Okay, Gene.
Okay, like I have about 6 or 7 people with me. That's probably about the size of the group we're going to have.
You gotta go with Andy, man.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Now this silk floss tree, this you don't want to walk into on a dark night. No. Really nasty, very razor sharp. Not even the squirrels climb this tree.
Oh my god, yes.
This is not for tree huggers. Not
No.
for tree
Richard, climb up.
Dude, I will hug this tree if I have
And
to.
that vanilla
it needs
orchid
some
going
love,
up,
too.
that's bloomed 3 times this year already.
Cool.
Yeah, and then, then the vine above it is what they call Swiss cheese philodendron.
Swiss cheese
It's like a
pretty
slice of
coarse
Swiss
orchid.
cheese.
Oh my god.
Philodendron is that
Prehistoric.
Oh, same family.
Does it produce fruit?
No.
Nothing I can't remember.
Prickles, man.
You would do great, right?
Yeah, just hug that
Now,
tree.
now this tree is only 8 years old. And look
What?
at the size of
Ooh.
it. It came up after Wilma in 05, after the hurricane.
Are you serious?
Yeah, January of 05 is when this started up.
You can make pillows out of the
Fluff, yeah.
the fluff.
And when it
Pillows out of the bark.
and in October when it's in bloom, it's white, a very pretty white flower. Most of them are pink, but this is a white.
Nice.
Wow. You can make nice baths with that tree.
This giant red shrimp plant, that's another pretty flower. And that's like a hummingbird.
Man, this place is so fun.
Just chilling here.
What is this?
That's a hibiscus tree.
Hibiscus? Wow. It doesn't look like our cranberry hibiscus. It's gotta be some different kind of
Well, same
hibiscus.
family.
Same family?
Yeah, hibiscus family. Has
So
got
cranberry hibiscus
thousands of
can grow. Cranberry hibiscus can grow this big too?
Not this big, but it's related.
8
Is
feet.
it?
Related.
A lot of orchids are on too.
Now that tree, when it was planted in 1972,
Should put some in a salad.
This tree is a hibiscus.
yeah,
Huge thing here.
and they can get 3 times that big.
You're telling me that's
Wow.
edible?
The flowers are.
Or when it's like, oh yeah.
I have never heard anybody that uses it. It's all over the Bahamas and many of the Caribbean islands over there. So if it's edible, they can eat it. Now,
Robert eats the cranberry hibiscus. Oh yeah, I love the
I've
leaves.
got those in the nursery.
A little lemony for me.
Now, if you look on the
I wanna
forest
climb them,
floor, you
man.
see a lot of plants that most people would call houseplants. Yes. But in the jungles, this is the way you see them on the forest floor where the seeds drop down by the animals. And there's no rhyme or reason. You'll have patch here, patch there. And this garden was totally man-made. This was an empty field in 1970 when I started. Not a single plant was here. And I put everything in here.
Oh, nice.
And, but you won't see boxed hedges and straight lines in here. It's all random, just like you see in the rainforest.
Yep.
I tried to keep it as authentic as I could. And over the years, we've had a lot of well-meaning people that's wanted to donate statues and fountains and all that. I said, I've never seen those in the rainforest. I don't want them in here.
Good man.
Go give them to the Mountains Botanical Garden. They love them. And they got them all over down there. But I don't. I'll accept benches. But that's about the only thing I accept is benches.
Great idea.
We have a lot of bamboo in the garden. See that gold bamboo is really pretty with the green stripes.
water system?
Yeah, the
Shingle
whole park
tree.
is under irrigation, so I can flip a switch and make it rain.
Oh, look at those
We're underneath
bamboos.
a tree from India called a shingle tree.
Yes.
That's about 80 feet now, and that's a state champion tree. It's the biggest one of that kind in Florida. And we've got 3 state champion trees here in the garden.
Okay.
And we had 9 before '04, and then Hurricane Francis and Gene knocked down 6 of them. So we don't have as many champion trees, but in order for you to have a champion tree, it has to be bigger than any other tree of that type in Florida. And they actually come and measure it from Tallahassee. The forest is their
The height? What else?
height and the spread and the trunk diameter. But we had 2 guys from Tallahassee that come in here for 2 days. We're in here measuring and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then they send you a certificate certifying that it is the biggest in Florida.
Okay.
So until someone else has one bigger
Snap
that they
some pictures
submit,
here and there.
this one will be still the champion.
What is your aim? What is your intention to grow so many huge trees? Do you use the wood ever?
Oh no, I just plant them and let them go like they would in nature. I mean, they don't go so big in nature and then fall over or whatever.
Yeah, is there any reason why you pick these specific?
No, they just like the spot.
These good ones. It's beautiful. And the soil is amazing. Is that mainly from just
All the mulch.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's like this is all just like
Now this plant is called white candle. It has pretty little clusters of white flowers. Great butterfly plant.
You hear the bamboos creaking.
It's a mines.
I don't know. I sometimes see it's so here, but this out of the ground, like this much more improvement, you know?
Yeah. You can't dig a hole anywhere in here without cutting worms. It's really weird.
Oh man,
yes.
sometimes that makes me cry when I'm doing work like that.
Now, a lot of these bird nests and thuriums are in here. Some in the ground, and I have some in the trees. But some of these can get leaves 8 feet to 14 feet long and over 3 feet wide.
How do you call
Big
those?
plants.
How do you call them?
There's the flowers.
Bird's nest.
Bird's nest and thurium.
Check this stuff out.
Worm casting.
Isn't that just perfect?